welcome to the Atterax Showcase. The Atterax is a rather undermined weapon. It's very powerful. Might be even running for most or second place for most powerful melee weapons. I'm not even joking. Yet no one likes to talk about this weapon. It's rather behind the scenes. But this weapon is definitely worth your time. If you love melee weapons, you'll love the Atterax. Alright, for what is it? Well, as much as it doesn't look like it, it's a whip. And that's probably one of the reasons why people don't like it, or don't even pay attention to it, because it's a whip. Whips are not inherently bad, but they're different to use. So when you pick up the Atterax, you'll notice one thing first and foremost. Its attack speed is rather slow. Yeah, it's its biggest drawback. However, it makes up for this by having an excellent range. But it's mainly a slash weapon, so enemies with fossil armor or plain armor will not really feel this at all. So you're going straight for the infestation with this weapon. But it's not really a good weapon to take to single enemies, it's meant for crowd control. Yes, it's a melee weapon made for crowd control. Because the more people you hit, the better of a job you'll do at killing a whole mass group and getting through the mission quicker. And even this weapon can attack air units. One of the very few melee weapons that can. So you could just go straight Atterax and no guns. And you can get a mission done. No problem. Okay, a build for this is rather funny. I did the blasphemy and took off my pressure point to build up its critical build. And I put a berserker on to offset the spoiled strike. So this way I get more attack speed. Now, this thing could benefit a lot from a couple of formas, even 1 to 2, and it's a golden weapon. But even as it stands now, level 30 infested drop to this thing. As soon as you get a critical hit, boom, you got that attack speed up and it's a lot more tolerable to use, even with a spoiled strike on. Still an excellent weapon. Even after doing all that. If I can get a form or 2 on, I can get the pressure point, the other attack speed mods, and even the elemental mods, since it can support some elemental status chance. So overall, it's a great roundabout weapon. But the only drawback is, it's a purely slash weapon. So as you be fighting the infested, the ancients will cause you trouble, because they will not cut through them so easily. But everything else will drop quickly. Now, in a controlled test, I took enemies to level 40, because 50 was a little too high, and I decided to do a mix mash. A little bit of everything. No ancients though, because I won't even cut through those guys. So for these usual tests, I usually take one variety of enemy button for infestation, and in this case, I just decided to go with everyone. Because it doesn't really matter what comes at you, you will kill it quickly. As soon as you hit that one critical hit, you've got your berserker working, and it doesn't turn off, because you're hitting so many targets very quickly. You just lay out a group instantly. But, as you'll see here, when I cut through the initial group, when I get to the MOAs, they tend to be a little slower because they don't want to stand still and I have to hit them a single amount individually. Like I said, this is where it falls a bit short with against single opponents. You want to hit groups of this weapon. But still, they can do nothing. And I chose to Atlas so I don't get knocked over repeatedly and this doesn't take forever. But the Atterax is an excellent damage weapon. Even the maggots there get slaughtered before they even grab me. I'm hitting enemies behind me, in front of me, on the sides, above. Literally, I'm just hitting everyone around me in almost a 360 degrees. So I'm not sure how you can really top this, other than just having pure firepower or critical. This is kind of like jack of all trades, master of some, but not all. Well, but the Atterax, excellent weapon. If you love melee weapons, this should be in your arsenal. And I'm really surprised if you're not using it if you do love melee weapons. For everyone else, it's a good weapon. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Okay, let's have an overview on the weapon. Some pros and cons. Pros. We got high damage, high critical chance, and high critical damage. We got average status chance, which is better than most melee weapons. Excellent range, and a sweeping motion that almost hits everyone in 360 degrees around you, and even above you. Pretty good. And for the cons, not too many. We got slow attack speed, and it's only inherently slash damage. Which, it's most melee weapons, but that means you can't cut through fossil armor and other armor and such. And that is all on the Atterax. Pretty good weapon, I do recommend it to anyone. And thanks for watching.